Action.
Xena's past comes back to haunt her in Past Imperfect. An old conquest uses Xena's own methods against her. This episode also gave us more of the backstory between Xena, Boreas, and their child. And Xena's fear of causing Gabrielle's death hampers her ability to deal with the task at hand.
I saw the past. What?
This clip cries out for an old vaudeville joke, but I'll skip that and just say it was an interesting shot about how they created the centaur effect.
Yep.
This guy has to act opposite a couple horses. I like the way they come to attention when he walks into the scene.
Yes, of course there was a banner of truce. Do you think they wanted to meet me just because I'm pleasant?
Then the humans step in with their platform shoes. It always fascinates me how Lucy can be casually chatting one moment with the crew and turn into a ruthless killer the next.
Cavalry! Call in the horses!
No. You go after them and they'll trap you. Spread the word! From this moment on, we're at war with the centaurs, and Boreas is their ally. We're going to need a lot of wood. When I'm done here, there'll be a line of crucified bodies leading from Corinth to the Caspian Sea. And I will crucify them all. Crucify them. Crucify.
Clip 27. An example of the difficulty of working with babies, non-stop crying.
We gotta hurry. Hand me the child. No, he's my son.
This is one of the most painful moments in the whole series. Xena has just given up her child to be raised by the centaurs. A deleted scene where Xena is trying to pack Gabrielle off to Petra and out of harm's way.
Gabrielle, Pacicus is going to take you to Petra.
Are you kidding me? After all that talk of danger, I wondered why you brought me out here.
If I had told you in Actus, he'd still be there. Come on, we don't have time to argue.
Back off. I'm not going.
If I have to tie you to that horse myself, I will.
Then try it.
Get off the dam!
It's a trap!
And here's Renee's camera angle on that scene.
Are you kidding me? After all that talk about danger, I knew there was a reason you brought me out here.
I told you about it, Matt. Come on, we don't have time.
Back off. I'm not going. Then try it.
Hold that. Keep moving the men, please. More central and frame.
Go out that way, guys.
Now, go the line again about the horse.
If I have to try it to that horse,
Try it.
get off the bridge!
Cut.
I always include a Lucy fighting scene. Here she pumps herself up before launching into the fray.
Get off the dam!
It's a trap!
Everyone, retreat back to Actus! What happened? I just got defeated by my own tactics.
I put this in to show why there aren't many bloopers. What happens most often when an actor blows a line is that they simply pause and repeat it. Sometimes they'll ask the other actor for a lead-in line, as Lucy does here.
Everybody, retreat back to Actus! What happened? I just got defeated by my... Sorry, can you say it again? Retreat back to Actus!
And again on that line, I'll begin the line till they're running away. And sit.
Retreat back to Actus! What happened? Just got outsmarted by my own tactics.
Although this is an old blooper, I wanted to put it here because now we know which episode it came from, and it gave me such a lift when it popped up on my TV. The line about shiny armor was definitely not in the show when it aired, and from Renee's chuckle at the end, I think we know why it was changed.
He might know. That is the shiniest armor.
There's this person out there, they think like me, fights like me, and they're winning.
It was fascinating to me to watch the progression of Renee's performance in this scene. Actors know the close-up is most likely to be used in a dramatic moment, so they'll give the most nuanced performance in that take. Even taking that into account, listen to the rise of emotion in Renee's second take.
I'm going up onto the battlements to reinforce the men.
Gabrielle.
Xena, I don't believe in your vision. I can't afford to. Either I prove you right, and we die, or I prove you wrong, and we go on from here. It's better than continuing like this. I'm going on to the battlements. I'm going to reinforce the men.
Gabrielle.
Xena, I don't believe in your vision. I can't afford to. Now, either I prove you wrong, and we go on from here, or I prove you right, and we die. But either way, I will not continue like this.
I remember seeing a still of this moment when Renee and Gabrielle get sprayed with blast debris. It sounds like a giant confetti popper.
It's already begun. Come on.
And here Renee does her own stunt. I wonder if they used extra soft sand for her to fall on.
Is there any value in me running
If you listen closely to the end of the previous clip, you'll hear Lucy say, "Is there any value in me running back?" meaning to see if Gabrielle's all right. And in the next take, they use her suggestion.
You all right?
Cut it!
Take a Michael Bay camera.
It must have been fun being a child on the set of Xena, with all the costumes and animals. Strange things they would never see in real life. How wonderful, how magical. And fire and explosions. I wonder if Lucy talked with that young girl about the real explosions that go off behind them before they did the scene.
Cutting! Cut.
3 Bravo, take 1.
Action!
The incongruity struck me of Lucy being all serious as the scene ends, and Renee and the soldiers giggling. It just goes to show that no matter how real a scene looks to the audience, for the actors and crew, it's just another day at the office.
Are you all right?
I don't know. I saw the past.
What?
I was attacking Corinth like this. And I had everyone trapped like us.
Cutting! Forward.
In this scene, cut from the final version, Gabrielle seems to be trying to put into effect the lesson she learned from Xena about putting the dead to work.
Oh, the pain. Oh, my stomach's on fire. I try to hold out.
I'm sorry. Look, you have to stay here. We can't let them think the wall has been weakened. We need more men. Go to the hospital and bring them. All of them. The wounded, the dead. They're gonna die anyway unless we reinforce this wall.
No. I want each man to go down and bring back a wounded man to replace him.
Replace him? I don't understand that.
Gabrielle, we don't want to strengthen it. We don't want to weaken it. We want it to appear just as it is.
But the wounded can't defend this wall.
I know.
Hold it! Cut!
The focus of this episode was to show the birth of Solon, so I decided to include this take, which is different from the one I used in Kid 8.
Turn, Lucy.
It's your son, Xena.
It's the job of the script supervisor to keep track of what the actor says if they deviate from the script, but everyone needs to keep their ears open. Here Lucy remembers a change that might have an impact on what she says.
Xena, General Oakland is dead.
I know. Do you have any idea who you're up against?
No, but whoever it is, he's got us boxed up. We've locked down the gates and all available soldiers have been posted along the walls. And I'm next in command. But I don't have any battle experience. Well, we were wondering.
You what? You're second in... All right, take an inventory. Bugger. You're what? You're in command and... Now, what did you say? I'm next in command. But he didn't say that on the other take, did he? When it was on his face, what did he say?
This deleted moment took place after Xena was blown against the wall. Gabrielle checks her for broken parts.
Anything?
No. Nothing's broken here. Thanks.
Xena, they stopped firing at us.
It was an opening volley to force people back into the city. Now there are too many of us in here and not enough supplies. Here. It was a good tactic. At least it was good when I used it at Corinth.
What did you mean by that?
I went back there in my mind. I saw it all perfectly. There was me, Dagnan, and Barias. We had captured a patrol of men and centaurs. Barias wasn't happy about it, of course, but it didn't matter. He and I had split up the army, and mine was much more powerful than his.
Up there. Very nice.
Flesh!
Another deleted moment as, at the end of this scene, we see Xena plot with Passicus to get Gabrielle out of harm's way.
Gabrielle, looks like this hospital could sure use your hand.
No, Xena, this hospital is well protected. It's in the center of the city. It doesn't need me hiding in it. I'll start the fire brigade.
In return for your help, I want something.
Save Actus, we'll open up the treasury for you.
I don't want money. Once we secure the water supply, your mission, and yours specifically, is to get Gabrielle to safety. Take her to Petra. And don't tell her we had this conversation.
Very well.
Good, thanks.
Sit. Sit.
Renee didn't stroke Lucy's arm on every take, and the one they used wasn't nearly as sweet a moment as this one.
We'd just taken a patrol of men and centaurs. Bryce wasn't happy about it, but it didn't matter. He and I had just split up the army, and mine was much more powerful than his. Those were hard times. We learned some difficult lessons.
Right.
Now let's hold the right a bit.
Back up 5.
Do your recording inside.
Check your supplies.
Besides the cute grin at the beginning, when Lucy seems to forget something, I included this clip to show how the cameraman has to keep his eagle eye on everything, including a shadow that falls on Lucy's face.
This is poison.
What? That's impossible.
That's why your men are sick. Check your supplies, especially the grain. It's been poisoned. This is poison. That's why your men are sick.
What? That's impossible.
I did it myself at Corinth. Whoever's out there is watching your walls. When your strength gets down to half, the assault will begin. In the meantime, get all the remaining grain into a storeroom and post a guard on it.
We have to have food.
Right now, I'm more concerned about the water.
Just go back an inch, loose. Back up an inch.
Oh, I see.
Right, one that's impossible. And action.
What? That's impossible.
I did it myself at Corinth. Whoever's out there is watching your walls. When your strength gets down to half, the assault will begin. In the meantime, take all the remaining grain and put it in a store and post a guard on it.
We have to have food.
Right now, I'm more concerned about the water. Assemble all the men you can spare at the south wall. I need some engineers and a fast horse.
Cut. Thank you.
Can you still fight on that arm?
I included this scene for two reasons. The middle of their discussion, Xena wanting to send Gabrielle to Petra, was deleted. Secondly, note that they have to stop Renee's speech because she leans to her right and her face is bisected by Lucy's shoulder guard.
Here's your list of supplies. The grain's been locked away. The only water available is what's left in the cisterns. It's 3 days, tops.
That gives us about 5 days before men start dropping off the wall from sickness or hunger.
What were you thinking? Sending me to...
If you're going to lean me, just bring more towards my camera.
Falling off the walls and action.
Gives us about 5 days before men start falling off the walls from hunger or sickness.
What were you thinking? Sending me to Petrosina? How can you win this battle when all you think about is protecting me?
That's exactly my point.
No, that's my point. I'm not leaving you. Now stop worrying about me and focus, because it's the only chance that any of us have.
Did you see that mountain out there?
Yes, I did. It was in your vision, right?
What if this is the place where it happens?
It isn't.
Gabrielle?
What? What is it?
I understand what's going on now. This battle is a reflection of one that I almost won long ago. Whoever it is out there is using my own tactics against me. It's like they are me. How do I defeat myself?
It's all about timing between Lucy and Catherine Boniface. Catherine doesn't know how long Lucy will take to deliver her lines. Here, you'll see Lucy ask Catherine to give her a bit more time before she bends down.
He loved you a lot. But you were focused on the power alt he promised. I couldn't let him get in the way of that.
Action.
When I saw Barias' body, I couldn't believe that he could have come back for me, not because he loved me.
Yes, he loved you a lot. But you were focused on the power alt he promised. I couldn't let him get in the way of that. You shouldn't have left Corinth. You could have taken it.
Just like you're going to take Actus by collapsing the walls and jumping down to...
You're looking out this way. And action.
The poison green was the key.
Oh, so then picking up the right piece. And stand by. Action.
The poison grain was the key. I tried to think who knew my plans, who knew about the poison grain. There was you, me. Give me a little more time.
And
The poison grain was the key. I tried to think who would know my plans, who knew about the poison grain. There was me, you and Dagnan. And Dagnan's dead. You want some collar root? Had some before I came. That way your dart didn't affect me.
This scene in the cave was filled with jumping back and forth inside the scene depending on who was having their close-up. That's why Lucy checks to make sure she's on the right page.
Survivor. And I have this incredible ability to see inside my enemy's head. Sound familiar? You've been doing it for years. So when I found myself in your custody, I realized this was my one chance to learn from the best. That's why I couldn't allow you to see Barias that night. Oh, yes. The night your son was born. You had just taken the Sancha flower potion, and Barias' army attacked.
Next scene, right? 39? Okay. And I saw Barias' body. I couldn't believe that he could have come back for me. That he was in love with me.
Yes.
Here are a couple takes from another deleted scene where Xena rummages in her mind for the significance of poisoned grain. Note the first time Lucy breaks the cask. After that, she just makes breaking noises.
Lucy?
I'll take over from
I
here.
was told not to let anyone near the poison grain.
Who do you think gave you those orders? I'm not here to eat, I'm here to think. Take off. Think. The answer's in my mind. The ambush, the catapults, poison grain. Ah! Poison grain.
And scene break, and new action.
Poison grain.
Cut. And action.
Think. The answer is in my mind. The ambush, catapults, poison grain. Ah! Poison grain.
On the roll, one more, please.
One more, please.
Okay.
More of a get before poison grain. I'm realising it.
Second poison grain.
First one. Take it through.
Okay, yeah.
And did you catch that, Ken?
I don't know.
Pull back to the edge, pull back to the corner, come back one. Or this corner that's in corner shot. Right there. And action.
Okay, think.
One more. And action.
Think. The answer is in my mind. The ambush, catapults, poison grain. Poison grain.
This tidbit of Evil Xena was deleted. She's back to the heads on a pike theme.
What? This is all the supplies that made it through?
Apparently the men deserted the supply wagon when the raid began.
Deserted. My men don't desert!
Are you surprised? They see the battle ahead of them, and they see a leader obsessed with a stone.
It's not just a stone. It's the spirit of Xena. The power that can help me conquer the world.
Then look for your cursed stone and let me command both armies. You'll lose everything without the loyalty of your men.
Loyalty or fear?
What did you say? Now, come on, Citrina. You can speak freely. What did you mean?
You have my loyalty, Xena. You know that. But it wasn't always that way. When you first captured me, I served you out of fear. And fear and loyalty can sometimes walk hand in hand.
Yes, they can. Can't they? I say that we should capture these deserters. Have their heads posted in every camp. And feed their bodies to the dogs. Yes, let them know that if I can't have their loyalty, I will have their fear. Now get out of here. Citrina, get me some water.
Another deleted scene. She was going to poison Boreas's army? Warning, if your girlfriend is named Xena, don't get on her bad side and don't eat her grain.
How many sacks do we have?
More than 20. All poison, just as you wanted. The Corinthians must be feeling their hunger by now.
Make sure that Boreas's army captures some of the grain. We'll give them a day for the poison to take effect.
Yes, I'll see to it.
Adagna. Let's not tell anyone about this, huh? There are spies in the camp. No one must know about the poison.
I've always wanted to share secrets with you, Xena.
Let's get something straight between us. You tell anyone, and I'll have your head. Ugh.
I grabbed this scene for two reasons. First, we get to hear Gabrielle's full speech about why she's going to act this with Xena. Second, it's another example of actors working out their timing, as you'll see in the middle of the take.
Are you sure I was dying? Well, the gods know I've been tied to a cross before. You helped me then, Xena. Why do you think this vision is any different?
It's just so real. No, you not. The mountainside in the background. It was true, or it could be.
I'm not going to believe it. I think you had some sort of experience, but that doesn't mean anything to me. Xena, we're not going to get anything done with it hanging over our heads. It's almost dawn. We better get moving if we're going to warn the people of Actus about that army.
No sense in us both coming. Stay here, catch up when you sleep. All right, Actus.
No, you won't. The threat of a battle is not...
All right, Actus.
No, you won't. The threat of a battle does not mean I'll end up like your vision. Xena, you're expecting Medusa behind every tree. You're not looking left. You're expecting Medusa behind every tree. You won't look left, you can't look right.
All right. But we're not staying long. Actus has its own army. Once we warn them, we're out of there.
It's fine. That's the end of this conversation, right? Can I do that again? Sorry. Fine. That's the end of this conversation. Right?
Forgotten about it already. Are you turning around to say deal? Yeah.
When you turn, come more left. When does he do it? Come down to the right. Down. There. Just do the lane for me, Renee.
Okay.
There.
Fine. And that's the end of this conversation, right? Deal?
I've forgotten about it already. Come on.
Two totally different takes on this scene from Renee. The first is one of anger. The second, more sympathetic towards Xena's fear for Gabrielle's life.
A prophecy? Xena, no one said anything about a prophecy. All right, maybe it's a warning, a sign, a guide.
There.
I was to become the destroyer of nations.
A prophecy. Xena, no one said anything about a prophecy. Maybe it's a warning, a sign, a guide.
The final campfire scene was heart-wrenching as Xena talks about giving up her newborn son. Lucy is lighthearted and yawning in the moments before the camera rolls. We've seen how Lucy can tap into her emotions, but the silent support Renee gives her in the next two takes has to have helped the flow of tears.
Funny thing about destiny. You can't ignore it. You can't rely on it. Alti promised you one, didn't she?
I was to become the destroyer of nations. It's funny how I used to look forward to those promises of hers. And every one of them ended in tragedy. Maybe that's why I'm so afraid of this prophecy.
Prophecy. Xena, no one said anything about a prophecy. Come on. Come on, maybe it's a warning.
Maybe that's why I'm so afraid of this prophecy.
Xena, no one said anything about prophecy. Maybe it's a warning.
A sign? Maybe a guide.
The truth is you don't know. Like Alti didn't know.
She didn't know you, Xena. Arias knew. He showed me the self-loathing I had for myself. He showed me the love someone can have for a child.
Lots of sadness and action.
Maybe that's why I fear this prophecy so much.
Xena, nobody said anything about a prophecy. All right. Maybe it's a warning. A sign.
A guide? The truth is you don't know. Like Alti didn't know because she didn't know you. Arias knew. He showed me the hatred I had for myself. He showed me the love that someone could have for a child.